Oh, and welcome back to the channel and another one of our early morning playthroughs. And we've got Shepherd's Bay by grovey31, and it's his first ever PC publish, which is pretty cool because we don't actually have to wait for a Grovey course this time. Let's go medium winds. We'll go east. Actually, no, then we'll go west. Defaults, yeah, as per usual. Now, in terms of the tees, he says either blue or black. Oh, 6-8 is long. Let's go 6. Let's go 7-6. 50-50. What do we reckon? Map? I'm going to go 7-6, I think. Really took. And then the next round I'll play from the blacks. My guy's not the longest, so. Actually, no, we've played everyone else's from the backs. If he says the backs are capable, we'll go with backs. And we'll go pin 4. So, Grovey is a designer who I generally absolutely love his stuff. We didn't get an intro camera. That was odd. And he's gone with kind of Cabot vibe, I think, making the most of this like really cool Swiss backdrop, which is just great. Like mountains and coast is a lot of fun. Let's pan around and see what we've got. Really cool coastline. Like little rock clusters are great. Yeah, this looks very cool. And he said he's kind of starting to enjoy planting, which we never thought we'd see. The look is really cool. Now, the thing with Grovey courses, they're often described as like this comfy golf, but generally they're very playable for pretty much anybody. Like there's always really thoughtfully placed hazards, really good greens, and typically just play really well and enjoyably. Yeah, this looks like a ton of fun. I feel like I'm going to spoil things by going, ooh, the estuary looks nice. There we go. We've got a kind of dunesy section as well. Clearly making good use of the weathering. Although I think where Adam will shine is more the high definition sculpting with the greens. And yeah, look at this. That fairway's lovely. Okay, there's some really interesting stuff here. And some detailed planting. My goodness. Okay, yeah, this is going to be fun. So I'm going to go back to our first tee. Now, we will bear in mind that I decided to play off the longest tees, but it was torn between the front two. Then again, okay. So, oh, okay, green is perched right over there. No, I figure it doesn't. Oh, and we hit a half decent drive. And the thing is, if it's long but you have very wide and generous fairways, that can be absolutely fine. If it's long and the landing zones are really pinched, that's much, much harder. And yeah, if you're hitting 330 drives off every tee, you kind of have to make it that long if you want. Okay, we got a good pin for this one. So it's definitely a gentle opener, although yeah, there's potential to get it wrong and go way down here. Is the beach out of bounds? No, good decision. And I like these bunkers. So everything's thoughtfully placed, right? So this does funnel in here, but these two bunkers very much there to protect those tees, as is this one. So they're not really so much in play. It's more to stop you playing to awkward spots. He's incentivized the layup, so we could play out right and have an easy pitch in. We're not going to do that, though. Oh, not a good swing. Get in the bunker. That's okay. A well-placed catch bunker. And then this one is really to stop you running down towards the beach. So again, it's there for a reason. And hopefully we can just use that slope. On down-ish. That's a little little spicy. Turn. Nah. Ooh. Not the easiest putt in the world. Oh, look at camera gets a little bit janky. I suspect it's a spline point issue, or yeah, there's some stuff with cameras. Okay, 437, but really uphill, 50 feet. Those bunkers sitting beautifully. But again, we've got an open side of the green versus a closed side. So you can choose to play for the angle, going this way, in which case you could funnel it into the green a little bit more, or not, or avoid taking the bunkers. Your ideal line would be trying to carry over here, but then you've got this option, or you've got the play out this way for distance. Like, it's all nicely thought through. I will take, ideally, just distance. I trust myself more with a shorter club in my hands. We're slightly blind over there. I would have probably tried to lower that so I could see these bunkers. Just I love the way the green side ones sit. Might just be that I'm too far back to really see it, to be honest. 172. Up 23, so that's going, what? 165 plus the wind. We're maybe struggling to get over the bunker. Oh, it wasn't the club anyway. Oh, and that is plugged. Two holes, two bunkers. Somehow managed to sit right on that little spine. I'll look at if this little pocket is meant to be here. It feels like the sort of thing Adam wouldn't typically do. I started that way too far right, left even. Yeah, just never hit the brake. Still, one over. We're getting used to being over par on these rounds. That's a lovely looking par 3. Yeah, short walk from green to tee as well. Works nicely. Cool little flashes of colour. Interesting waypoint pushing me over here. It's like, you don't want it. You're not good enough to go for this pin. Have I pulled it again? Oh, the game knew. I just started where the game had aimed me. 3 holes, 3 bunkers. Ah, that one we get away with though. Yeah, I'm really liking the planting generally. This is a big step up. His planting has gotten better and better, and actually really working nicely. The only thing just seeing there that I might do would be sculpting down some of the sandy areas. I feel like that might just be a me thing. Yeah, we're going to be starting at least 5 feet or further quite a lot, I think. Okay, now we go, oh, straight out to the coast. Cool. Yeah, so this is the sort of green where he excels, and like kind of this sort of green separates a good designer from a great designer. Like, it's totally uncluttered. There's 1, 2 bunkers, and yet the angle still really matters. Like, the slopes are all really thoughtful. You've got one big feature, and then a couple of little ones. well, I say one big feature. This runoff here is kind of your main one, but that makes that bunker play bigger. It's just like really effectively done. I think 3-wood is the play. That should leave us well short of those 2 bunkers. Yeah, just love this. Okay. Have I put myself into awkward, you can't hit a pitch territory? Yeah, I have. And I've got to, so now I'm into real partial wedge. Which is tough because I'm not that great at that. So you might want to consider laying back even further on this one, or to be honest, with driver, you could possibly even get there. That's going to go too. Oh no, it's not too far. And we find that runoff. And just goes to show, like, to make an up and like this be an up and down rather than the birdie, it doesn't need to be more than 2 feet. Or we could do even worse and completely mess it up. Oh. That is a really poor dropped shot. Well, so far it's definitely not the distance that's doing it for me. Texture painting down here looks really good. That topsoil blend is nice. Oh, he loves this little plant. It's good. It adds a bit of texture to it as well. That bunker's very cool. I might just try with this rather. I'm trying to find an area where it's done. So here, like if you take the intensity down a little bit, you'll get a better blend of the textures. Kind of like what you've got coming through about here. And here is where it's blending even better. I would maybe try to do it a bit more up here around the lip. Oh, cool little peekaboo par 5 around the trees. Yeah, really good green complex again. Okay. Just try to hit the fairway. Okay. We can, well, we can potentially reach. So if I'd gone further right, I maybe have a slightly longer approach, but I avoid that cluster of bunkers. The pin back here, I'm definitely laying up. And then that layup is complicated by where the fairway's tightening, where it's widening, lots of stuff. I don't know if I am making this, but I feel like it's worth going for at that pin. Yeah, can't do much better. I'll bounce up. Oh, it's just got over that little false front as well. Which shows you the benefits of, I've talked a lot about greens running away from the line of play. Like we've seen quite a few designers where they'd angle that green and then tilt it away. Well, the land here would make no sense doing that, but also like playability wise, those little decisions matter. So the false front slows up that ball so it can just get over. When it does get over, that little slope funnels it towards, so it turns a good shot into a great one. And it's like those little things that give you a really, really top course over one that's just good from a playability perspective. Okay, so we've got, again, the one feature here. We could play a 3-wood and try and get into there. That feels like the toughest shot. Again, really cool uncluttered green. Like, it would have been so easy to put at least one bunker around this one. At 500 yards, you don't necessarily need to. And it's got a pinch tee shot, so definitely don't need to. I think we're hitting way over here. That might be a little dicey. It's going to kick towards that bunker. It's just whether it gets past it. Oh, it does. Yeah, that spine's lovely. And the diagonal nature of that means that it's coming into play for everyone. Like, if you're carrying it further, you're taking on more of it. That's like how one single feature can work for everybody. Not gone crazy with the punch bowl either. So like it should generally feed in. I like that it's more pronounced near the front, so that if you go short and trust it, you can end up probably on the green. Whereas if you're longer, you're not necessarily. So it's encouraging us to play a bit more conservatively. Oh, that's a terrible swing. Still, we played conservatively, so we might get that slope falling in. We go. It just goes to show again, like, rewards careful, thoughtful play, which is the kind of course that I really enjoy and tend to play well on. Not based on hitting bunkers, but oh, it was a good putt. Again, like simple green complex, couple of features, plays really well. Like long-time viewers of channel and streams will know that the Grovey courses, like they're always recommended by me and others for like the best greens that you will play. Ooh. And here's a good example of, again, spine in the middle of the fairway brings in so much trouble. So we can hit all the way down there, but you have to be really accurate in order to not fall off here, fall down here. Or I can just play 3-wood. But this pin, not my ideal. So out to this side, because that little mound complicates things. Ideally, you want to get over here. I think is pretty good. When am I going to put pot bunks and stuff in the middle of greens? Nope. Not a thing. Okay, down 20. Oh, we've got a green light for this pin. Lovely view over the bay as well. And yeah, again, it would be really easy to tuck the bunkers right up against the front of the green, but kind of don't need to. The green's doing all the defending anyway. And it still allows those recovery shots whilst framing really nicely. Oh, yanked it again. There is a slope there, but I think we're going to hit the runoff at the back. Oh, no. Just about stayed clear of it. Oh, I did not think that was missing low halfway through the putt. Yeah, I really like this. This is something I want to learn to do better. That slope, that pin is just on a consistent slope from one angle. And like, if you're this side, you've got a really hard turning putt, but without yellow or orange getting anywhere near that pin. It's just really good. It is, so far. I mean, just nice. The plot makes sense. Everything fits. It feels like a real course, but it's still challenging for like longer hitters have to deal with that bunker. Shorter guys, you're just dealing with the angle and like playing further out. This is just so beautiful. A great way to transition between environments as well, because we're now getting towards the coastal section and you've just come all the way through the pines. You still see the pines on your left and on your right, but you can see the bay as well. Teased this with that view off the previous hole. Yeah, this is very good. And again, like it's an easier tee shot, but there is danger there. Like if I want to push it further right, I get a short shot, but I'm bringing the bunker into play. It's not the most dangerous tee shot for sure. No, because also you got to think about if you hit that bunker, let's say down here, Then you're left with a bunker shot from 220 over a bunker on the front to a green that's probably doing some complex things with a fall off right. Like, it's not so much about just make the tee shot more difficult, it's about what comes next. So that's where, like, you want only one bunker on the hole, like, and typically it's really good practice to only bunker one side of the hole because you give people a safe bailout the other side, and then just say, well, if you play out this side, then the second shot is harder. Still not sure about my choked approaches, but that one's better. Oh, go on, be good. Oh, and how? Love that. There we go. Yeah, love the way little things like all of the bumps around the green. So these feed into the green with those two spines, but it's not done so forcefully. Like, that's really tough to do. This is really tough to do. Like, the little things that people won't really see, like those slopes are done so nicely as to not to be too extreme, but still show up. Sculpting's class. Okay, now we're at the other end of the bay. Let's, I guess, make our way home for the last 9. Well, 10. Now that we're here, I might have liked a few more of these grasses blended in around here just to really highlight that distinction of different areas. Oh, this is fun. So we've got a drivable par 4, which is really creative because of the use of that mound. We've got to hit it in just the right way if we want to get on. But if we don't, that bunker shot is nasty. I could lay back, can hit 3-wood and funnel through there. Leave a pitch shot. All the space in the world to hit here. And that green is going to reward us if we do drive onto it because it's not all running away. I don't want to compare courses too much in playthroughs, but like for those of you who watched the one on Narimba yesterday, this is a really good counterpoint to that, where there is a limited number of hazards, but they're really effective. Okay, I think we got to go for it, right? And it is blind over those bunkers, but those bunkers also give you an aiming point. Ah, we bailed way left. That's okay, it's not the worst. Hey, grenade. So I think I just end up with a blind pitch off a slightly awkward stance, which I'm okay with. I've been hitting the spinner so badly. And this is off an uphill. I think the pitch is all we need. Yep, come back a little. Nicely done. Yeah, love that green site. Just like nestled in. The low sort of tree bush things work really well as well. There's trees or bushes? That's a bush. And even then we were pretty close, but just that slope made it interesting. Ooh, pulled it together a little bit after that third hole went south quickly. Nice. Okay, blind tee shot, which is tastefully done. I guess our aiming marker here is the tree. So you don't really need one, you just know that the tree is left edge of the fairway. Another awesome long par 4. Again, just real restraint around the green. Right? Allowing people to get close, but making it tricky enough for different pins. Love these front rolls. that he's used a couple of times. Like, that's a really nice feature that I need to nick. If we play this side and the land funnels us that way, then we're semi-blind over that. Play right to the challenging higher side, you get more of a view of the green. I think I'm just happy taking wherever we end up being. Left it is. I think for this pin, I'm kind of comfortable just hitting into that area. 172. And it's ridiculous that a 500-yard par 4 is still like this reachable. But you can tell it's designed as if like shorter players playing into the wind would still enjoy playing this. Like, because you can still land it way short and run it on. Like, the good guys don't need that. The good guys have to think about the fact that this is on a little bit of a plateau. It's running slightly away, and it's here. So, like, for a shot flying all the way, you've got to be pretty accurate. But for a running shot, it's forgiving as you want to be. And that is really, really good top tier design. And we're going to see how much we can get rewarded off that. Answer is that was a terrible shot. Now I'm left with an interesting chip. Ugh. Oh, come out. Very left. That is a poor dropped shot. Disappointing. Should have just hit like a 20% 3-wood or something and rolled it all the way. Okay. Really cool view there. This is why. Yeah. Planted behind the tee looks amazing. Really nice. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, and what a fun pin. Right in the swale. So I love this bunker cluster. Again, you've got an open side, one side of the fairway. All of the danger on this side. Which side do you want to be? This side. Get to see the hole. This side you don't. Simple. Oh, I think that's a pretty good tee shot. Nice. And then some interesting land movement to contend with if you go that little bit too far. So again, like longer drivers run into like not trouble per se, but things that are going to provoke more interesting shots or like different thoughts than just here. It's carefully done. If I'd gone this way, I could have probably had a bit more of a way of bouncing it in. That one bunker's really in just where I want to land it as well. Let's assume we're going to carry it. It's a big assumption. But bailout right was always the play. He's going to try and get up there. Might not stay though. Oh, it's all the way into the bunker. Love those physics working that well. That ball would never have run into that bunker in the previous games. Okay, now we've got quite a challenging bunker shot because I need to get it just to that slope and not do much more. Managed it. That's really satisfying. Still got a tricky part, but... No! Well, just really enjoying this. That's a really creative green complex as well. And the amount of space you have to play this hole, but the ideal line's protected really well because everything comes together and makes sense. Okay, back into the foresty areas. Look at Grovey showing off his planting. Oh, cool long par 3. I think the routing has done a really good job of visiting the different environments and transitioning between them so that like you don't get too much of the dune stuff at once, then you go back into the foresty area. That's quite a good shot. Swing might not be good, but the result's okay. Go on, come off that little mound. Ah, you're robbed. That's a shame. Yeah. Really simple green, but at the same time, lots of little, like, mini steps down here. I need to play with 4 pins on this one. Why have a bunker that short of the green? Which one? This one? Well, these ones are protecting that side. And then these guys are for framing, but if you look at where you're teeing from, they're still on the direct line. If you're trying to run it to short, you are kind of thinking about downwind. So downwind there. If this is downwind, the last thing you want is your bunker here, because you're asking someone to carry it 220 and stop it on a sixpence. You've got to allow for them to get around it. But yeah, no worries. Again, one main feature is that little runoff there, and then just little pockets and folds. Go on. Did not think I'd leave it short. Still, take a par. Yeah, so again, pet peeve is anything over 180, people like tucking bunkers right over the front of the green, right at the front of the green, that you then have to carry and stop because it's just not always going to be doable with wind. This is a cool green. So we've gone for skyline green at this point. That's going to sit really nicely. Don't know if I... Yeah. Don't know if I want to take driver or not. There's all of that space out there. Again, like reverse camber fairway. Doesn't need to do anything more other than that one bunker and like where the fairway edge is. Looks beautiful. That'll do. So this should feed down to the right, which I'm okay with. I think for this pin, I always kind of want it to be right. Nice. Very happy with that. I've left a wedge in, slightly awkward stance still. Where he's got his roll out for the fairways is spot on. I'm not rolling out too much, but enough. It's not careering off the fairway, but not crazy amounts. I think there. Bunkering around this green looks great. There we go. Now grab. Kind of yes and no. Like it's a really video gamey thing that we'll. So like it's the same as those greens that run away from the line of play. Like it's something that people do to add artificial difficulty in video games when the video game can't do what we want it to and the physics aren't good enough. You kind of do it to encourage rollout more where we don't necessarily always need to. So like 1 on a course is enough. 2 is pushing it. Beyond that, you don't want more than that. Yeah, this is stunning. And this is about as tight of a pin as you can do behind a front bunker. But it's down 25 feet, so we're essentially hitting 1 club less. So hitting 8 iron to a front pin, I'm okay with. But once you start in probably 7 iron to a front pin, I'd still be okay with. Once we get beyond that, I think it's a bit more sketchy. But even then, if I did miss this tier, like I've still got a putt at it from anywhere. So like it's a combination of factors. Right. Yeah, love the bunkering and the way this one sits in. It needs to get right just a touch, but it's pretty good. There we go. Shame it didn't quite land on the green. No, I think you'll see, like... Oh, it's a terrible putt. You'll see a number. But it's often that when you do see some, you see people do multiple of them and it gets really overused. All right. Blind tee shot again. This one with a marker post because we don't have a tree in the background. Does that make sense? Off 4. Oh, it's just hit. Yeah, I'll drive somewhere over there. Ugh, way off. And again, if it's a blind tee shot, it doesn't need hazards the other side. Oh, cool green complex. Again, just it's sort of blind from here. I didn't quite make it all the way up. I really like this one. Trying to work out whether that bunker there's absolutely needed, but I guess it kind of is down. I don't know if it's needed. I feel like we could have just a mound of fairway or rough or something there instead, maybe, but not a must. Pretty happy with that shot. Just pulled it a little. There we go. Oh, funnels in nicely. And yeah, like being in the right section of this green gives us a much better putt, whereas we're not quite on it. Now we've got this. Which again, like, I really like. And his greens do a really good job of balancing rewarding approach shots, like rather than having red slopes everywhere, which funnel approach shots will give you big red flag, here's a backstop, here's false front, but also still making putting interesting. This is really good so far. Like, yeah, outstanding. Okay, par 5, another little sidewinder. Don't go near the bunker. It's okay, light rough's alright. I think my only critique with this one really is I like the hole a lot in isolation. I don't feel this one is necessarily doing anything we haven't done before. I think at this point in the round, like particularly if you're going contest course, like World Cup, whatever, like how can this have the really bold idea that other par 5s haven't had before? I don't think it's quite got that for me. Oh, I'm not getting it close, am I? I can't hit it high enough and stop it. I don't have them. I don't know what the long flop is like, but I don't have it. I wouldn't be using it if I did. And that's slightly, I say slightly too far. Yeah, it's slightly too far. Still think that's better than any pitch ends up with. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder whether you could have done something like a more diagonal string of bunkers this way that we're carrying. I don't know what the answer is. And I don't think it's necessarily a reflection on this hole, more that this one is the last of a number of these kind of like nestled in the hills ones that feel maybe a touch similar, but we are nitpicking. And that's what the job is. I do love the blend of environments. It's been outstanding. Oh, so now we go out to the coast again. Oh, awesome. So another potentially drivable 4 with death long and left. That is a hard pin to hold. And 35. That bunker's perfectly placed for me. Where do I want to be for this pin? I think somewhere up here, really. Oh, and then that one comes in. You think, why is this one anywhere near here? Well, my angle I really want is here. So I'm not coming in over those red slopes, which are going to bound me away. Coming over that one, which is going to slow me up. And so I can try and leave it short of this very spicy pin. And so ideally I would want like a full wedge if I could do. But with wind, that means we're trying to hit really a 5-iron, and then we're aiming right at that. Okay, well, at least it was super safe. So we always wanted to hit from this side, as mentioned, always. And we're just going to yank that one as well. And still got a putt though. 2 pretty terrible shots. Very calculated. Oh, nearly got it as well. I mean, that would have felt really undeserved. Nice to see that coastal area again. I think the whole cameras are maybe a little off in terms of like which ones we've seen, which ones we haven't. Oh, cool. And now our finishing hole taking us back. So this joined with 1. We don't quite get the view of the bay on the tee shot. This is nice though. It's got elements of the dunes, green, pines behind it. Nice little clubhouse, like rustic area. Yeah, works well. So that bunker there is really more to do. Well, it's more in play on this one. And we're going to go and find it. That's a terrible swing. Ah, poor shot. And we're going from the worst side of the fairway. Yeesh. Okay, I just need to get it up there. 80% to 90%, so it might carry about 160 would be the lowest. Why does the lie percentage get less if I try and hit a club shorter? I just don't understand this game sometimes. I think we play this. Might need to sit, but at least it got out. Look at all the coloured flowers. Very pretty. Well, I'd take hitting the green from there. Out the fairway bunker from 200 odd yards. And yeah, you can see again it would run in towards front pins. Maybe. That would make sense. I might soften one of those 2 yellow slopes so you're not going one into the other, but hard to know without seeing where the pins are. Oh, that's missing right. Lovely view back over the water again, and like, yeah, first tee complex right there. Well, that's an incredibly well put together course. Um, Grovey's put together some great stuff. I think Shoreham Island Links was always his favourite of mine, or Shoreham Island Club. I can't remember what it's called. This might pass that. Windstone also was amazing. Again, this might beat that one out. I think the planting's the best that you've ever done. Um, Playability is really, really good. The way the routing works, as ever, is great. The greens, as ever, are really, really strong. I guess my only little critique is that one, not even that one par five, but just that was the point at which I kind of felt you might need to switch it up on that hole just for like we're in that not because it's a bad hole, but you're in that contest mindset where like is every hole doing something completely different and not completely different, but you know, raising the stakes that little bit more. Is it as good as it can be within that whole set of 18, like posing a slightly different challenge? And I felt maybe that one was a bit more not repetitive. I think you know what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, the Bay Area, amazing. I really liked how we worked out towards that area. The coastal holes, the dunes ones, like didn't need to use the ocean. The setting enhanced them, but they were really good golf holes in their own right, which is like credit to you. And like didn't crutch on sea views, just kind of used them to make some really awesome golf. That's going to be an early favorite, I would say. And it's one where I don't know, you kind of want people to play this and really understand it. If people want to really understand golf course architecture, this is the one to play because this is so carefully done, thoughtfully done. This and Pithies, I'd say, are the two at the moment that have hit all of the notes that we'd want to hit. So yeah,